though.
Late ass nights come from long days, doing all the right things in the wrong ways, doing all the wrong shit for the right reasons, sprinkling midnight game, call it night seasoning. Haters get salty, give them cholesterol. Trill OG, mop up the floor with the best of y'all. They dry that bitch off with the rest of y'all and catch a flight to Rio de Janeiro for La Festival.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a sample shopping. Going back to that, just got a brand new package from Decant Shop. I think there's like 20 fragrances in this one, or 18. So we're gonna have 4 episodes, 2 episodes with 5 fragrances each. Really great lineup. I'm really excited to bring these to you guys. And again, decantshop.com is where these are all available for the best prices online. Trust me, guys. Take a look at these fragrances. Go to decantshop.com, use my coupon code MAX12, apply it, and then tell me where you can get these for cheaper. There's nowhere. This is just the best place for you guys to pick up samples of fragrances. New stuff is constantly being curated and added, so it is the best place online for you guys to purchase samples and decants of fragrances for yourselves, your friends, loved ones, whomever. So 4 to look at this week. And we're going to start off with one from the house of Carner, Barcelona. This one is called El Born. Now, on sample shopping, we have looked at 3 from this house. We've looked at Kier, D600, and Tarde. Tarde I liked a lot. That is actually on my to purchase list. Other than that, guys, I'll be really honest with you, I haven't found much from this house that I feel is bottle worthy. I don't own anything from them. And I know they just released a newer one called Costarella. I'll be excited to check it out. I'm always excited to check new stuff out. This one is pretty new from them. It's one of their newer ones. It dropped in 2014. Note-wise, we get Sicilian Lemon, Calabrian Bergamot, Angelica and Honey at the top, Fig, Heliotrope, Benzoin and Jasmine in the middle, Vanilla, Peru, Balsam, Australian Sandalwood, and Musk in the base. So I really like that note breakdown. The honey, the angelica, the fig, the heliotrope, that's up my alley. Now, price-wise, for whatever reason, guys, this brand has hit discount signs like Beauty Spin, and a 50 ml of this can be had for a very reasonable $98. Or if you want to step up to the 100 ml, you can get that for $150. So fairly good if you're a fan of these fragrances. And for me, guys, this one, and I've really tested this one out before this video. I actually had a sample of this one from Twisted Lily, and I wanted to spray it because the Twisted Lily samples you can only dab. I thought maybe if I sprayed it something would change. And what I feel about this one is what I felt with Twisted Lily. When you first put it on, it's really nice. You get the honey. I don't really get the Angelica. I like Angelica in my fragrances. I love it in Les Jus Sont Faits by Jovoy. I feel like it brings in a really herbal, like gin-like vibe to fragrances. But here, I don't get it. But I do get fig. I do get heliotrope. I do get honey. And it's really nice at the top. And then, for me, guys, on my skin, within an hour, it just dries down to a sweet nothingness. If it stayed like it did at the top, I would really enjoy this one. But for me, this sort of suffers the same fate as D600. It just isn't enough for me. Kier, for me, was just too much like Black Afghano. Tardes, out of what I've tried, is really the only one that is that has made it on my skin and been interesting. And this one's the same thing. I like the way this one starts. I suspect if you smell this one, you'll dig it. And if it lasts on your skin, cool, do your thing. It doesn't last on my skin. And because of that, it's just not something I can endorse to you guys. Nice, sweet, heliotrope, honey, vanilla. Bad performer for me. Next up, we're going to go to the House of Imaginary Authors. This one is called An Air of Despair. Guys, my thoughts on imaginary authors are well documented. I've done a bunch of videos on this house on sample shopping. I think I've only covered Violet Disguise, which I don't love. I have 3 bottles from this house. I own City on Fire, Memoirs of a Trespasser, and Every Storm a Serenade, which I was given for a group review. Me and a bunch of reviewers did on YouTube. I would like to grab from this house to add to my collection Mosaic, which I love, Cape Heartache, and Falling into the Sea. I'm pretty good friends with the owner and perfumer, Josh, and because of that, I actually feel really comfortable speaking about his fragrances, good and bad, and I really hope to work on a fragrance with him in the future. We've talked about that. You know, I hope it comes to fruition. Air of Despair was a limited release for the summer of 2015, and the notes are just really basic and simple. You get cedar, saffron, musk, and sadness. I love how he throws in that sort of weird note or interpretive note. I don't think this one is available via retail anymore, so you might have to grab it from Decant Shop if you're looking for this one. And it's good. I don't think it's Josh's best work. I think I've said this to him. For me, I like when he does sweeter scents with more body. This is sort of light and airy, and I get the musk, I get the cedar and the saffron. It's nice, it's elegant, it's bright, but it sort of reminds me a little bit of Every Storm a Serenade, and these are sort of more uplifting scents, brighter, and I sort of like the darker imaginary authors fragrances. Personally, I don't think this is a bad scent. I think there's a lot of people I know who like this one. I think if you like sort of gray fragrances with that musk and wood, you might like this one. Not my favorite from the house, although I do think it's a good fragrance. It certainly has that imaginary author je ne sais quoi, but it's not my favorite from the house. Next one, I'm so excited to review this one, guys. I've wanted to review this one for forever. I'm gonna fuck up the pronunciation, but I think it's called Feve Deliceuse by Dior, the Christian Dior, the Privé line. This now isn't the newest from this collection. That one is called Le Collet Noir, which is supposed to be a rose scent. We've looked at a lot of these on this show. Nothing that's really moved me, although I did really like Au Noir and Vetiver in retrospect, both of which have been discontinued. I really like the Dior Privé collection personally. I own Mitza, I own Kier Canage, and at some point I will purchase Amber Nuit and Patchouli Imperial. I like Oud Isafan, but for me, Diptyque's Oud Paolo reminds me too much of that one for a better price. Now, this one came out in 2015. It was done by Francois Dimache. Guys, a lot of comparisons with this one to Tonka Imperial by Guerlain. I smelled this at Bergdorf as soon as it came out, and for me, I was close to buying it. I was walking in there prepared to buy it. I actually bought a Diptyque fragrance instead. It reminded me too much of Tonka Imperial, which I already own. So let's take a look now. Notes on this one, really simple. Bergamot, tonka bean, vanilla. You can grab a 4.25 ounce bottle for $210, an 8.5 ounce bottle for $300, or if you're bowling out of control, like J.R. Smith, you can get a 450 ml bottle for $420 for $20, also J.R. Smith. So options abound, and guys, for me, good fragrance. I've watched a lot of reviewers say there's a lot of difference between this and Tonka Imperial, and for me, they do differ. They do not differ enough for me to justify purchasing this one with Tonka Imperial. For me, the main difference between this and Tonka Imperial, for me, is that this one has some cocoa. I get some chocolate out of this one. It's a little more nuanced. There's not the slight green herbal tinge that the thyme in Tonka Imperial has. This is way more gourmand. It's nuttier, it's just darker, deeper, it has a more dessert-like vibe. But if you own one and you're watching your pennies, then I don't think you need this one. I think you should look at this and that one and get one or the other. I think they're both great, but I think they're close enough that one will suit you really well for a collection. And if I hadn't bought Tonka Imperial first, I'll be honest with you, because of the bottle size you gave with this one, I'd probably pick this one up. I love this one. But I own Tonka Imperial. For that reason, I just couldn't justify purchasing this one. Great fragrance, not completely original to me, but a great fragrance nonetheless. We're going to finish this week off, guys, with one from the house of Montale. This one is called Aromatic Lime. you know, my thoughts on Montale are pretty well known. One of my really good fragrance friends, Renee Zayas, who just has an amazing nose and is a great guy. I want to congratulate him on his baby if you're watching this. But he also did this haul video where he just recently picked up like 15 Montales, and he really seems to love this house. And his point was, yeah, they put out a ton of fragrances, but they also offer great variety, and the prices are really good, especially when you consider the fact that you can get so many discounted, and I can't argue that. I just think, for me, I wish they edited it down a little bit, guys. You know, I think I own 2 from this house. I own Intense Cafe and Nepal Oud. I would like to get on my list to purchase from this house are Black Musk, Red Oud, and because of Renee's complete gushing, I will probably also pick up Starry Nights, which he's in love with, as soon as it hits the discount site. Notes on Aromatic line are lime, bitter orange, patchouli, myrrh, saffron, galbanum, vetiver, and sandalwood. And this is one you can get for like $80 online. And to me, this smells like an old school Montale fragrance, and just an old school men's, almost like aftershave. It's really nice. The galbanum, to me, this is really just about 2 notes. It's about lime, like an old school lime, not a fresh tart lime, but like a resinous lime, and galbanum. That's what I get, with a base of sandalwood and a little bit of myrrh. It's really refined. It's really well done. If you like old school fragrances like Pour Monsieur by Chanel or Third Man by Carner, you're probably really going to enjoy this one. This is not like the other Montales, and this sort of does make me think, damn, Montale really does, if you think about it, just makes so many different kinds of scents. This is one of them. This is different from anything I've ever smelled. I really like the lime galbanum blend. This is a good scent. Adriana, actually, who owns Decant Shop, liked this one. And usually I request fragrances from her, and she'll send me some extras that she think I might like. And this is one of the extras she sent me, and she was dead on with this one. So guys, if I'm ranking these just in order of quality, you know, I'd have to go with the Dior first, because the quality there is great. I'd go Montale 2. I'd go That Imaginary Authors 3, and I'd go Air of Despair 4. Would I purchase any of these? Probably not. But if I were to, I'd purchase Aromatic Lime, and if I didn't own Tonka Imperial, I'd purchase the Dior. So guys, that is it for this week's video. Next week, 4 more fragrances. We'll look at 1 from the house of Andy Tower. You guys know how much I love that house. 1 from the house of Raja Dove, and 2 from the house of Tom Ford. Guys, it's going to be a great week next week. I promise you. We will have a review this weekend coming up. A scent trunk video should be coming up next week. Probably the last one I'll do for scent trunk. So review this weekend, scent trunk next week, and then a bunch more. I think really exciting. Hopefully for you guys, really exciting. Scent Safari videos coming up, and then the 500th episode special, which will be something I don't want to announce it just yet, but I think you guys will really enjoy it. Guys, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, go to Decant Shop, use that coupon code MAX12. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, that really is the best way you can thank me if you're enjoying these. It's go to Decant Shop. It's using that coupon code. It's making purchases, MAX12, decantshop.com. I'll see you guys next week with more videos. You already know what it is, guys.
Minutes out of my Spalding, and now break your face with a no-look pass. Now back to your parking lot pimp with your little hook gas. I use harsh words because these are hard times, and trill ass people nowadays is such a hard find. So it's one eye open if I could be